Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Talking To. I am your host, Rufus Bill. Today is March 16th, 2025. The time is 7:05 p.m. That is Eastern Time. And we're coming to you live from the city of Detroit on a beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening where the sun has been shining for most of the day. We were able to see people out and about walking dogs and shopping, doing all of their favorite things that they love to do on beautiful days such as this, and especially on sunny Sundays. Everyone loves to take advantage of a beautiful Sunday. We call it Sunday Fun Day with Sunday. Oh, I just said something. Sunny Sunday, sunny fun day on Sunday. I like that. So, how has your day been today? What have you done that has been interesting to you? Sometimes it's good just to do nothing, to be in a relaxed state of mind, to be able to just say, today I choose not to interact with anything or anyone, maybe with the television, maybe with music, maybe with a good book, maybe with in your thoughts, in your own meditation. What have you done today? Maybe you went and fellowshiped at church today, had a good time with your brothers and sisters in church, and with your your leader, church leader, your pastor, your bishop. Maybe that brought you a lot of joy today. Maybe today is your family day. A lot of people like to spend Sundays with family. I know one family in particular. They always come together on Sunday, no matter what is going on during the week and however life takes them throughout the week. Sunday, they usually come together within their family and sometimes friends too, because I've been a part of these special Sundays and spending time with family. That's very important to those who it's important to. I've noticed, and just the keener I become in my wisdom, I would say, I hear a lot of emphasis on families, especially from single individuals, both male and females. They talk a lot about families and how important it is. And especially if you have grown up in an environment where family was very key and crucial to the entire family tree, then you really, really have a longing and desire for that type of fellowship with your family. For some, they may have been that particular lifestyle may have been absent from them, and they don't know a lot about family gatherings or didn't grow up with a lot of family gatherings. But now that they are adults and have their own families, that family unit has become important. Those family gatherings and family times have become important to them. So it's a lot of people who enjoy being with their families on Sundays. I was looking throughout the week because we had so many warm days. A lot of people got out to do gardening, and a lot of people love to do gardening on Sunday. They feel very relaxed. They feel very at ease, raking leaves and getting into the dirt. And now that the temperature is warming, I had one buddy of mine is already talking about what he's getting ready to do for his lawn. And so gardening is something very popular for people on Sunday. Pay attention. Just pay attention. Well, as you drive around on Sundays, as the weather becomes warmer, if you don't see a lot of people that are out in the garden. You know, people say it's therapeutic. Therapeutic. So Sundays can be used for a variety of things to do or things not to do. Enjoyed corresponding with friends, addressed cards, and updated my address book. Thank you, Miss Smith. Thank you for listening and observing, and chiming in. When is the last time you updated your address book? Even if it's a virtual address book in your phone. Sometimes, sometimes when I'm scrolling through looking for a particular number and I run across names and I say, who is that person? They need to be purged. So Sunday's a great day to just purge, reorganize, especially if you're still in the workforce. And Sunday is your day off, and as you prepare to go to work or start the new work week, organization is key. It is key. So Sundays mean a lot to a lot of people, and they're different things that people love to do on Sundays. And so whatever it is that you may have done today, I hope it was well worth it. I hope you were successful in your endeavors. And now that you're able to just kind of relax and clear your mind and just watch and listen to Talking To. It is Talking To. I am Rufus Beal. We also have two other hosts, Justin Hearn and Joanne Tosin Fuller. So we were thinking about, let's go to the big downtown holiday in the city of Detroit. And this is very well celebrated across the metropolitan area. But when I lived downtown Detroit, right in the heart of downtown Detroit, this day was celebrated as Christmas, and that is St. Patrick's Day. Tomorrow is the official day, but because St. Patrick's Day falls on a Monday, people have been celebrating since last week. As early as last Tuesday, but the real big official kickoff day was Friday. So they had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, I was doing research on St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick's Day was a spiritual day. It was a time of holiness and recognition, and to pay homage to the saint that St. Patrick is named after. So it says St. Patrick was the patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick, who was born in Roman Britain, not Ireland, and later became a Christian missionary returning to Ireland to spread Christianity. So all of the celebrations in its original form were based around spirituality and Christianity and celebrating this patron saint. But it became, as Google puts it, a cardinal holiday once it came to the United States. It was not cardinal. It was the what was the word that they used? Secular. It became a secular holiday once it began celebrated in the United States with all of its everything. I don't know. Have you ever gone to a St. Patrick's Day parade or been in the element or the environment of a St. Patrick's Day celebration? Now, you talk about people that celebrate this holiday, this saint, they become new people. They become different people. I don't know how it is that you were able to party. I was trying to think of something good to say or something nice, a nicely way to put it. How you can party all day and never tire. I remember this one, I think it was maybe a Wednesday or Tuesday, and I was living downtown in Detroit, and it must have been 5 a.m., and I heard all the commotion going on in the street downstairs from my apartment. And I opened the windows or opened the blinds in the windows to look and see what was going on. It was hammering going on. And they were building I would say something like outdoor bars. So the business that was directly across the street from my apartment is the one that was doing a lot of building in my apartment downstairs, my apartment in the area downstairs where it was a restaurant. So this is around 5 a.m. By 7 a.m., the bars were open. The people were celebrating. They were having a great time. They had their costumes and all of their St. Patrick's Day shirts and hats, and really just was enjoying themselves. So it was my first time ever experiencing that. So if you've never experienced it, it is definitely something to see and something you will always remember. Thank you for tuning in to Talking To. And today on the Talking To, we're going to talk about something that is something that I have begun to listen and hear a lot of people speaking of, which is spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare. So we're going to take a quick moment, take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll get right into the topic of today, right here on Talking To. Be right back. All right. Thank you for your patience. I am Rufus Bill, and you are experiencing Talking To. Talking to. I Our topic of the day is spiritual warfare. And let's see what Ms. Smith has to say about that. Spiritual warfare is the struggle or conflict between good and evil, right or wrong, the best or worst way of doing things. Let me repeat that, although I know you can read it yourself. However, spiritual warfare is the struggle or conflict between good and evil, right or wrong, the best or worst way of doing things. Thank you, Ms. Smith. So when we were doing research for the show today, and this is what I came up with. Spiritual warfare is a concept prevalent in some Christian traditions, refers to the belief in a struggle against evil, just like Ms. Smith just said, between good and evil, against supernatural forces, often demons that seek to undermine faith and spiritual well-being. I'll repeat that again. Spiritual warfare, a concept prevalent in some Christian traditions, refers to the belief in a struggle against evil, supernatural forces, often demons that seek to undermine faith and spiritual well-being. Now, I guess if I was to break that down or dissect that, it may seem obvious of what it's saying to some, but maybe not to everyone who may listen or who may watch this at a later date or at a later time. So that seek to undermine faith. So I'm thinking faith. Faith is what we are, is our belief system of something that has not come into manifestation. So we're believing, we're with all that we know, with all that we have, with all of our limited or unlimited knowledge and whatever we're holding faith onto, it can be undermined by spiritual warfare. So, can it be something as simple as I have faith that I'm going to get married, or that I have faith that I'm going to pass my test, maybe for work or for school or for employment, to gain employment. Spiritual warfare undermines faith, that seek to undermine faith. Could it be the faith that I have that my children will return to their right mind and to the things that you as a parent have taught your child or your children and they have gone astray? Could it be that faith that spiritual warfare can attack? Does it have to be related to Christianity? I'm going to reread this. Spiritual warfare, a concept prevalent in some Christian traditions, refers to the belief in a struggle against evil, supernatural forces, often demons, that seek to undermine faith and spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being, would that be wholeness, complete, strong ties to your spiritual teachings, strong ties to maybe your spiritual beliefs? Again, it says spiritual well-being, spiritual warfare, an attack on faith and spiritual well-being. Now, believe me, this does not start off as to be a Bible study. It really did. Let's see here. Pamela Burton Johnson, spiritual warfare's assignment is to create doubt in any situation. Okay, that's simple. Spiritual warfare's assignment is to create doubt in any situation. All right. That's plain and simple. So that could be anything. It could deal with anything. That's across the board. To cause doubt in anything. To cause doubt that I can't lose any weight. That's any situation. To cause doubt in any situation. The conflict between good and evil. Because you know all that always, that particular conflict, it always is in your head, in your consciousness. The struggle between good and evil. Should I be nice? Good and evil. Fixing the time clock. fixing the time clock because let's go back to this one. Between good and evil. I get off at 4, but I'm signing out at 3. Then I'm going to take the back stairs that lead to the other exit because I parked there earlier this morning because I had already planned on pulling a trick. Spiritual warfare, and this is what Ms. Smith said. Spiritual warfare is a struggle or conflict between good and evil, right or wrong. The assignment to create doubt in any situation. Very interesting. Very interesting. It's talking to, I am your host today, Rufus Beale. And the subject of the day is spiritual warfare. And I had chosen this subject because I was speaking to someone and they mentioned to me about they were in spiritual warfare. And then I heard someone else mention it, some minister was talking about it. And you know, for those of us who have been connected to or are still connected in some form, way, or fashion to church or to our upbringing in those beliefs, I think we may not associate spiritual warfare outside of anything that has to do with God. As Pam just said, it can be in anything. Okay, so here is another goal. Oh, here's another concept of spiritual warfare, and I think it's fair that I should say that most of my research is not, it is academia based. Justin was going to bring the biblical and the theological base. So this may sound one-sided. But okay, it says the concept spiritual warfare possess that believers are engaged in a battle. Here's that word battle again. Against unseen spiritual entities, often associated with Satan and his followers, or for those who will say the negativity, with unforeseen. Well, you know, and I keep going back to right or wrong, and then any doubt in any situation. And you know, all of those two concepts are those two scenarios are unseen when you think about it. Here again it says are engaged in the battle against unseen. Because those two battles against right and wrong or doubt begins in your mind. So you really are not seeing that. You don't see doubt, do you? Do you see doubt? Do you materialize it in or manifest it where you can see doubt? Do you see right or wrong? Or do you see the concept of right or wrong? I'm going to venture to say, to support this particular argument, that you don't see it, it's in your head. I'm fighting against right or wrong in my head. Should I do this? Should I not report this money that's mysteriously in my account? Should I not say anything? Should I say that there was an extra $300 on my check for overtime that I didn't do? I'm thinking in my head. I don't like my supervisor anyway. Shoot, that I can't stay in that job. The battle between right and wrong. Should I report it? Doubt. I doubt. I doubt will my situation ever change because it looks so grim. You know what I mean? Spiritual warfare against doubt. Battle between right and wrong. I'm going to move along. The time is 7:37 p.m. Detroit, Michigan. I am Rufus Beale. It is talking to, and today the conversation is spiritual warfare. And I invite you to join us in the chat. We've had some great comments so far from Pam and from Mrs. Smith, and there's always room for you. There's always room for you. So, okay. So it says the goal of spiritual warfare. The purpose of this war is to resist the influence. That was my preacher voice. Is to resist. Let's start again. The purpose of this war is to resist the influence of these forces and maintain a strong relationship with God. The purpose of this war is to resist the influence of these forces, okay, and maintain a strong relationship with God. So it's saying that I guess we have to fight, not give in, not give in to what I'm thinking that I should do. Here, go back up to this first concept or the overview. The belief to struggle against evil. Revenge, getting revenge, could that be spiritual warfare? My friend that I've been friends with for over 20 years has just blown my mind with something that he has done or that she has said, and it's caused a lot of hurt, disappointment, and has caused confusion. I need to get back at them. I need to get back at her for running her mouth. I should take a bat or a brick and work that car window over. The struggle against evil, spiritual warfare. I think that's evil. That's evil and maybe a struggle against right or wrong. I don't know. If you're premeditating something, I think that may step beyond deciding right or wrong. Premeditating something is usually linked to evil, spiritual warfare. That's the conversation today. Talking to, join us, come into the chat, and I would love to hear from you, and those who are listening would also and viewing would also love to hear your concepts. So it says we have to be prepared. It says the purpose of this war is to resist the influence of these forces, these unforeseen supernatural forces, the struggle against evil, the struggle against right or wrong, doubt. We have to be prepared to resist the influence of these forces. So now I'm in my life and I'm in my career and I'm in with my family and I'm going to work, and now I'm already doing a lot of that, getting lunches ready, get dinner ready, cooking, cleaning, washing, whatever your life may be. Now I have this spiritual warfare that I have to address because it says we need to fight. The purpose of this war is to resist the influence of these forces. So now we have to set our mind up to fight this spiritual warfare against right or wrong, evil, or anything that can cause doubt, and still maintain my life and my sanity. And you know, anytime you're working with your mind, that could be a very fine line between sanity and insanity, especially if you are in a spiritual warfare. So this particular information that I have, it talks about manifestations. Spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways. Oh, Pam, yours is right over here. Spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways, including temptations. Including temptations. I have done so well on my 30-day fast. On my 40-day fast, I have 10 days to go. Oh my Lord, you brought some PF Chang in the house. My favorite, orange chicken. And I'm fasting? Temptation. Spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways, including temptation. I lost 20 pounds. I'm trying to keep it simple. I lost that 20 pounds, and Ben and Jerry's is half off at all their stores today. Pam said earlier, doubts. Spiritual warfare can manifest in doubt. Fears. I heard Pamela say this morning in her sermon about fears, and how we haven't been given the spirit. We haven't been given the spirit of fear, but shoo, that fear will creep up on you and start talking to you and making you think something different. Spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways: temptation, doubts, fears. I am fearful. Fearful to fly? To get on these airplanes? Now, you might think I'm being facetious, but I'm not. Because just earlier, Pam said, the simple thing, anything. Spiritual warfare. I think sometimes we think we wrestling or we're seeing demons. And it may be in some cases, because it did say some cases it could be demons. But I think we always think of that as opposed to saying my fear for flying is a spiritual warfare. Okay, let's go back over here. Even direct attack. Spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways. Even direct attack on a person's peace and well-being. Somebody call you on the phone, someone sends you an email, someone sends you a text, someone sends you a DM and says, "Ooh, you all right? Because I saw you on social media. You look bad. Are you sick?" Attack on a person's peace. I'm just going around singing Dippity Doo-Dah, whistling Dixie, and here come this person, this trollop, talking about I look bad, am I sick? Spiritual warfare, messing with my mental peace and my well-being. I don't think I'm sick. Am I sick? Here we go. This from Ms. Smith. Spiritual refers to an acceptance of supernatural forces. Our faith is challenged by our beliefs in a God and his adversary, often called the devil or Satan. I'm going to read that again. Spiritual refers to an acceptance of supernatural forces. Let's stop there. Okay, let me repeat that. Spiritual, now, and I want you to get it. Spiritual, not spiritual warfare, but spiritual refers to an acceptance of supernatural forces. So, a supernatural positive force in this instance, as she says, spiritual refers. Am I correct, Ms. Smith? Spiritual refers to an acceptance of supernatural forces. Our faith is challenged by our beliefs in a God and his adversary, often called the devil or Satan. That's the war part. Our faith is challenged. And see earlier, remember when I said faith, when our faith can be challenged, or how did they put it? Our faith can be, what did it say? To undermine our faith. Same thing. Our faith is challenged by our beliefs in a God and his adversary, often called the devil or Satan. When your house is upset in turmoil because your spouse is being everything but what they should be, Kids, the children in the house are upset, can't get their schoolwork together because the spouse is cutting a fool. Spiritual warfare? Is it? Okay. Attacks on a person's peace and well-being. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, we can put that can all go together. I would say that can all go together. Um, Relationship problem. Yeah. People on the job problem. I messed up on the job, and I'm about to be disciplined, messing with my well-being, my mind, the doubt. Am I good enough to do this job? Oh Lord, am I good enough to do this? Can I do this? What? I thought I could do it. They thought I could do it. When I messed up, now I'm meeting with my supervisor. I messed up bad, messing with my well-being, my mind, my faith. Faith is challenged by our belief in a God and his adversary, often called the devil or Satan. There's another one from Miss Smith here. Individuals decide what best fits their situation. Individuals decide what best fits their situation. It's talking to. I am Rufus Bill, and welcome and thank you for joining us. If you're just now joining us, and if you've been watching us for the entire live broadcast, thank you for watching. If you're watching on a rebroadcast, thank you for watching on the rebroadcast. Subscribe, like, and share. Our other two hosts, Justin Hearn and Joanne Tosin Fuller, are not here with us tonight. So you have moi, talking about spiritual warfare. A lot of great comments coming from Pamela Burgeon Johnson and Sharon Denise Beard Smith. All right, tools and strategies. Tools and strategies. Strategies. Okay, for spiritual warfare. Believers often employ prayer, faith, scripture, and righteous living as tools to combat these spiritual forces. I'm going to repeat that. Believers often employ prayer, faith, scripture, and righteous living as tools to combat these spiritual forces. I remember this one time, and the woman said she was in a spiritual warfare. And what she did, she completely changed everything that she was doing. And that was no television, no conversations on the phone after 6 o'clock, increased reading of the Bible, listening to religious broadcast. What else? Some other things that she did. And so it was as if she had become a fanatic in trying to find a strategy against her war. And it seemed odd to me at the time, and even now, as I think about it, it still seems odd. And But Miss Smith just said individuals decide what best fits their situation. And so I guess I can use that in the situation to support the argument that she had with that all of these things that she did were necessary for her to win this war that she was in. But from the outside looking in, it seemed different. I'm going to say different. Then I would have said weird. Now I would say different. Oh, stopped wearing makeup. That was one. That was one. Just stopped wearing makeup completely and was around here scaring us. But she felt that that was the way to win the particular battle. Now, so it said often employ prayer, faith, scripture, righteous living. Okay. Now, how would someone, if they're not into church and they're not atheists, but all of these things, doubt, fears, struggling between right and wrong and against evil, this person is facing, how would you introduce that prayer, faith, and scripture to someone that may not know anything about it, who is in the situation right then and there looking for answers? Okay. It says biblical basis. Some Christians find support for this concept in biblical passages that depict a cosmic struggle between good and evil. So it's saying some people go to the Bible and find these passages where good and evil is being played out and where good wins. Different perspectives. While some focus on the cosmic battle between good and evil, others view spiritual warfare as a struggle against the evil that is inherent in humanity and our relationships. Your health, that's an attack on your well-being. I remember when I had an injury, and the constant reminder of the injury on a daily basis was attacking or was affecting my well-being, my mental state. And what I had to do, I had to guard my mind against it. I really did. And I was able to do that because I have been in spiritual environments that cultivated that type of demonstration, to where you can guard your mind, where you excuse things out of your mind to keep your mind in a protected environment. That's why I still say to this day, and people say that I'm very secretive and I don't talk a lot. I do talk a lot, but I think actions are better than talking. Here's why. Because if I'm talking and I'm telling you and I'm going on and I'm telling you that I'm mentioning it to this person, at some point and sometime somebody's going to say, do you really think that's going to happen? You're this and you're this. Oh, and you're definitely this. And look at you, you're this. Oh, and that you certainly are. Now, I am in a spiritual warfare because now doubt has crept in. I'm doubting myself. I'm fighting with myself against right and wrong. Now I'm thinking it's not going to get better because it hasn't gotten better. I'm still in pain. My wife still says she hates me. I don't speak to my dad anymore. Guarding your mind, guarding your mind, guarding your mind against spiritual warfare. Guarding your mind against spiritual warfare. Out of all of the conversation and the interaction that we've had this evening on Talking To, my takeaway is guarding my mind. I remember going to the Home of Love for a particular service. I think I was playing there, and right there on Grand River Street in the city of Detroit, the pastor is Fisherman Earl Doc Savage, and the founder was Martha Jean the Queen. And I learned that whatever the situation or the condition, that's not you. So whenever a spiritual warfare comes about, you have to realize it's not you. You're not that, whatever that may be. That bad relationship and that challenge of health and that mental state and that confusion and that depression and that anxiety. You're not that. Listen, we've had a great conversation, really. Great conversation. Thank you all for who participated. Next Sunday evening, they're going to celebrate 5 years honoring my friend, Pam Johnson, who was the pastor of Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church. And her 5th anniversary is going to be at the church. And I do not have anything in front of me to tell you the time, but I think it's 3:30, located on Grand Evergreen and Schoolcraft. That is the location of the church. You will not be able to miss it because you'll see all the cars that are there from miles around. So I want to personally invite you to come on out and celebrate 5 years with Dr. Johnson. How come I cannot even see a flyer on the page here? Well, for more information, call Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church because they can give you all the information that you want. But I refuse to be outdone because I am going to have some information for you right now about the event. Thank you very much. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church honors their pastor, Pastor Pam Johnson. Grace for the Race. Grace for the Race, March 23rd, Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. Evergreen and Schoolcraft, the big, beautiful building that sits there that says Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church. Next Sunday, March 23rd, 5 years, 4 o'clock p.m. They have a special guest minister and their family, and the church, their church family, will be coming and celebrating with her and her friends and her family, and it's always a festive time. So, us, Greater New Light Missionary Baptist Church, next week, starting at 4 o'clock. I would say get there by 3:15 so you can get a good seat, good parking. March 23rd, celebrating 5 years, Grace for this race. All right. All right. Thank you so very much for joining us today on Talking To. Have a great week. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. That's the best that I can tell you on this day. Guard your mind. I would hear the seasoned citizens say, Lord, keep my mind here on that. It's Talking To. Have a great one.